Hey, I want to share what happened the other day. I had an incident with a stray dog, but let me get a foundation here. This is my back porch. I call it the back porch, the car porch, the sun porch, all sorts of things. So this side is where Buddy's tie out is, and then this side is where Misty's tie out is, and then behind that curtain that's blocking the sun. But I have a door that goes into my back room. It's a little mud room, and then I have a sliding glass door. So with that being said, this is Misty, who's a sweet little girl, and then this is my Buddy. Okay, so he's a boxer bulldog mix. So now that you know what my dogs look like and where this happened at, so my dogs are barking like crazy. So I go out and look, and here there's this gray pit bull, and you can tell that she's either finishing up with the litter of puppies or still nursing. So anyway, she seemed friendly enough to me. She wasn't, going around the dogs. She was just close enough to look at them and get them riled up. So anyway, I went and grabbed the leash. I thought, well, I'm just going to catch her if she lets me and take her back home. Now, we've done this multiple times for our neighbors who lived in the area. I think this one was actually several houses down the road. But anyway, so I grabbed the leash and I went up to her and kind of like stood to see if she was friendly enough. And she came up to me, she sniffed me, and then she like ran away. So she was swagging her tail, no aggressive behavior about her at all, none. But she was elusive. So I would try again. I'd get down on one knee and she'd come up to me and she'd sniff, but every time I tried to grab her collar, she eluded me. She got away from me. So I ended up going around the front of the house trying to get her to come to me, and then on the side where Misty is in the backyard, I thought, well, you know what? Let me get a treat, because maybe if I can get her close enough, I can catch her then. Just normal stuff. This is how I was thinking. And then so I went up to where Misty's tied out, that side. I went up to that, and the dog followed me, and she went right towards Misty. Misty barked at her, and this dog attacked her. And then Misty's growling, and that dog's growling. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I hear Misty yelp. And so I run over there, and the stray dog backed up a little bit. So I grabbed Misty by the collar, and I just quickly got her inside. Didn't check her or anything, because it was happening so fast. So I went in the mudroom and put her through the sliding glass door. She was safe inside. So then I thought, I need to get Buddy. And then so I went outside, and where Buddy's tie out is just happened to be on the concrete there. So I stepped there, not realizing it. And this dog came towards Buddy, and Buddy was protecting me, charged her, not barking or anything, just charged her like to keep from her to get to me. But the tie out, my legs were right in the middle, and it caught my legs and it strangled my legs. It was like a chokehold on him. It was so tight, and it was like killing me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't move. I can't get out of this. I'm like, I hope, Lord, please don't let me fall over. Because then, if I went prone, that'd be awful. But anyway, I didn't. And Buddy came back towards me enough where I could get my legs out of the tie out. So here, my shin is killing me. But I'm going, okay, Buddy. And then the dog comes and she starts attacking him right there in front of me. So they're going at it back and forth. And then she's kind of getting the upper hand, because Buddy's not an aggressive dog. But she's got like her jaw on Buddy's neck, and Buddy's trying to get loose and stuff. So I'm not thinking, I'm just reacting to the moment. I'm trying to remain calm, but it didn't work so well. So I had my leash, and I'm gonna hit this dog to get this, get her off my baby. So I'm hitting her with the leash, and all of a sudden she turns around, looks at the leash, looks at me, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's gonna attack me. That was really stupid. So I stopped and froze a minute, and at that moment, Buddy came forward enough, and she backed off just a little bit. So I grabbed Buddy's collar, unhooked him, and put him inside and shut the door to the mudroom. So in that process, this all happened in seconds, in instants. So I look at her through the glass in the back door, and she's just back to her happy self, looking at me like, come out and play. What's wrong? And I'm thinking, okay, I should probably get her home. And I'm like, no, all of a sudden the pain registers in my legs. And I'm like, oh my gosh, are my dogs bleeding? Are they hurt? So anyway, I put Buddy inside, and And I grab a towel and I start, rubbing them all over, making sure there's no blood. And long story short, they were fine. And I just had some swelling on my legs, so I'm fine too, just bruising. But this is where it's going. So that whole situation, and the next day, it's finally registering, wow, that could have been ugly. That could have got really, really bad really quick. I mean, it's bad enough, but you know what I mean. So anyway, I was thinking, well, that stray dog kind of represents sin. So for me, and I'm just going to relate it to me, if I know that if I used to be an alcoholic, I'm not anymore, I used to be an alcoholic years and years and years and years ago, but I still get tempted with it. So I'm just going to use that to reference, okay? So that stray dog could represent sin or alcohol for me. And I think I can control her. I'm going to go ahead and just dabble in it a little bit, try to get a handle on it. But what happens when you're starting to think that and you let whatever that sin is, you fill it in the blank for you, you let that in, it starts to become elusive. When you think you can take hold of it and control it, it gets out of your control and it kind of spirals. So you may, okay, I did fine. It was only one drink. I did great. Nothing. But then sure enough, don't you know that temptation comes back a lot quicker than it used to and a lot stronger than it used to. And well, you did fine. You let it go. No, there's no reason. Go ahead and take another one. Why don't you go ahead and buy a bottle and take it home? That way nobody will know. These are the thoughts, I think. This is how sin attacks me. But anyway, I'm thinking, okay, this is like that dog. I tried to grab it, and it seemed sweet. She really did seem sweet, but she wouldn't let me get her. So I took her closer to home. So I bring the alcohol home. What if I did that? I know what would happen. But then all of a sudden that sin is no longer elusive. It turned and it attacks. It grabs a hold of you. It'll take your jugular. It'll get a hold of you and keep attacking you and biting and snipping here and there, ruining and destroying, if not you, your family. So for me, I know if I am around alcohol that I will totally consume it. I do not know when to stop. I cannot stop. And like I said, this is years ago, but it's still there in me. I know that. That's why I stay away from it, or try to. Perfect, no. But anyway, so this dog is attacking. This sin is attacking me, my family. In other words, my dogs. She grabs a hold of her and it yelps and it hurts a little bit. And maybe I get in a fight, or maybe I, miss some important meeting because I'm hungover. Whatever it is. Maybe I miss church because I'm hungover. Whatever happens, this sin that takes hold of you can all of a sudden strangle the life out of you. And will you listen to this when I say strangle the life? Because I'm talking about Jesus, who is the way, the truth, and the life. And if you allow sin, if you start dabbling in sin and let it part into your home, into you, into your temple, that life can be strangled out of you. That life, Jesus, will be strangled out of your spirit. And just like Samson, you may not even know it. So what I'm trying to say, and I hope you understand that this is coming from me personally, because I'm not judging you. I'm telling you what God dealt with me. He showed me how easily sin can ruin and destroy just by that dog's actions. It could have been detrimental. I could have lost one of my dogs. I could have lost my life if I'd fell, because she probably would have attacked. But I'm just saying, keep your heart right. Don't let that stray near your family. Don't let that stray near you. When you get that temptation, pray to God. Ask Him to remove it. If that doesn't work for you, then read His Bible. Then listen to YouTube worship songs. Because I know I can't always do it by myself. So I pray that this ministers to someone, because I'm talking to me, and I hope you can relate to it. Thanks for letting me share my attack, or the dog situation that happened the other day. I love you, and I really do wish the best for you. God bless.